And after Rahul Gandhi's speech, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju is currently meeting with the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, is what we're told. According to sources, Minister Rijiju will request the Speaker to ask Rahul Gandhi to present evidence for the many allegations he made, including the glaring allegation that the army chief has disagreed with the government on Chinese intrusions, and I can tell you that is patently false. Minister Rijiju has also said if Rahul Gandhi fails to provide proof, the remarks should be expunged from the House proceedings. So the temperatures are going up in Parliament in the wake of Leader of the Opposition Rahul Gandhi's speech. He spoke about many different things. He spoke about China, he spoke about AI, he spoke about Trump, he spoke about diplomacy, he spoke about manufacturing, and he of course spoke about his flagship topic, which is the caste census. So here are some reactions that are coming in the wake of that speech.
राहुल गांधी ने ये पार्लियामेंट में स्टेटमेंट देने के पहले या उनको जिन्होंने भी ब्रीफिंग किया है उनको शायद ये बताया नहीं होगा कि संसद के द्वारा ये कानून बना हुआ है और इलेक्शन कमीशन जो है उस कानून के तहत काम करता है। उस कानून को देखे बिना, उसको समझे बिना उन्होंने जो स्टेटमेंट दिया है ये एलओपी के लिए एक शोभा नहीं देता, ये एलओपी की गरिमा के अनुरूप नहीं है।
वो ये भी कह रहे हैं कि चाइना अभी भी हमारी टेरिटरी में, इन आरोपों को आप किस तरह से देखते हैं?
देखिए, ये जो है तथ्यों से विपरीत है। ये देश को हमेशा कमजोर करने का काम जो है कांग्रेस ने किया है, राहुल गांधी ने किया है।
ये बड़ा आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि देश के विदेश मंत्रियों को अमेरिका भेजा गया ताकि प्रधानमंत्री को इनविटेशन मिले यूएस प्रेसिडेंट के कोरोनेशन के लिए। इसको आप किस तरह से देखते हैं?
देखिए, ये बहुत ही इमेच्योरिटी का स्टेटमेंट है। मैं इस पे कोई कमेंट नहीं करना चाहूंगा। बिना सोचे समझे राहुल गांधी कुछ भी बोल जाते हैं, तो उनको ये भी परवाह नहीं होती कि वो गलत बोल रहे हैं।
उन्होंने इलेक्शन कमीशन पर एक प्रश्न चिन्ह उठाया है और इलेक्शन कमीशन जो है इंडिपेंडेंट बॉडी है और वो जो बात कर रहे थे कि रोल उपलब्ध करा के दीजिए विधानसभा के, लोकसभा के, और ये साइट पर जाओगे इलेक्शन कमीशन का तो रोल उपलब्ध है वहां पर। मैं उनको चैलेंज दूंगा यहाँ पर आपके माध्यम से कि अगर आपके पास डॉक्यूमेंटेड प्रूफ ऐसे कोई महाराष्ट्र के है तो आप सभा पटल पर उसको स्थापित कीजिए, स्पीकर को दीजिए, लोगों के सामने लाइए। अगर आप नहीं ला पाओगे तो सबके सामने इस सदन में खड़े रहकर आपको माफी मांगनी है।
Mosmi Singh is live with me. Mosmi, Rahul's. Okay, Piyush Mishra is still with us. No, we'll go on from Piyush. We'll come back to Piyush in just a while from now. We've already spoken to him. We'll bring Mosmi in on the Congress Leader of the Opposition speech in just a moment. Okay, do we have Mosmi? Let's go to Mosmi if we have her. We have Mosmi Singh. Let's go to Mosmi Singh for a quick reaction on this. Mosmi, Rahul Gandhi's speech has had its intended impact, which is a storm in a teacup, waste of time in Parliament, privilege motions, demands for his comments to be expunged, etc., etc. But largely speaking, one found his speech pretty unfocused. He started somewhere, he went on to something else. Did you figure what point he was really trying to make? Was it about the caste census in general? Was it something else? Because it seemed to be pretty much scattered and all over the place.
See, clearly, Shiv, earlier when Rahul Gandhi has made his speeches, if you remember, he's got a bit over-aggressive, or in fact, responded to the jibes or remarks of ruling MPs, thereby losing track somewhere and getting into a banter or a word war with anybody who was interrupting him. We saw him speaking very fast and very angrily. But we see a departure from that in this speech. And if you remember the last speech, which was on the Constitution, many members of the India Alliance felt that Rahul could have done better, in fact, to put up a consolidated view of the opposition on the discussion on the Constitution. And he would often go back to the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And this time round, we did see that Rahul Gandhi had somewhere done his homework on the terms. We might not agree, or we might agree or disagree about the contours or the points, highlights of his speech, but he did do a bit of homework in terms of saying that referring to what the India alliance, a president when the India alliance would be in power would actually talk about. So he pressed on the economic front. He talked about the diplomatic front, the defense front, the veracity of the allegations he made, or will he be able to prove them? What will the ruling party do? Clearly, if Kiren Rijiju is talking about he should justify and verify the allegations he has made, maybe if it was to rattle the ruling government, he has done that. But on the other hand, he did talk about employment and all the pertinent issues of the country. And then he went on to refer, he didn't go much into mythology. We've seen last time, talking about Eklavya, and then earlier about spirituality and Shakti and Shiva. This time around, he clearly did touch upon it, but didn't really hover into it and get really complex. So I think, and he spoke in English. That's his strong, the language he speaks well in, perhaps a strong point instead of Hindi. So there were not many faux pas or factual errors in terms of saying Eklavya ka angutha kata gaya tha. So something like that. So I think he fairly did all right in terms of highlighting it the way the opposition LOP should have done.
Okay, fair point, because there were some important issues that were raised. One can quibble over whether it lacked focus, but he seemed to have been making a point saying this is the kind of speech that he would have liked to hear from the president. Of course, there are always political ironies, that when one is a member of parliament for 20 years, 10 of those years when you've been in the ruling government and the ruling party, and every single president before every single budget has pretty much done exactly the same thing that Draupadi Murmu has done this year, and then suddenly you have an attack of the conscience and find that speech boring. It just degrades value perhaps a little bit when you call such a speech boring, but there it is. Very, very important issues raised by Rahul Gandhi, and as Mosmi correctly said, it's had its intended impact. It's triggered a big war with the government.